I would like to remind everyone present that this meeting will be broadcast live to the internet or filmed and will be capable of repeated viewing or another use by such third parties. Please also be aware that if technical difficulties interrupt the meeting that cannot be overcome, I may need to adjourn the meeting at that point. Apologies for absence.
No apologies, Chairman.
Thank you. Members, any declarations of interest?
Doesn't look like any.
No, not that I can see. In that case, let's move onwards. Minutes of the last meeting, can I take those as being correct?
Great.
Last two meetings, actually, Chairman, but
Last
Agreed.
two.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Double agreed.
Super. Are there any reports of portfolio holders? Councillor Phillip.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, I'd just like to bring to members' attention that at midday today we launched Click It Local, our local traders click and collect service. We've got 20 businesses in the district signed up to it and more being processed. Click It Local was already in operation in Uttlesford and Brentwood are also part of this second rollout along with us. I believe that Chelmsford, Colchester, Basildon and Tendring are also looking at the Click It Local. So we've received a decent amount of publicity county-wide on this. I can encourage members and members of the public listening to this to go to the Click It Local website, which is www.clickitlocal.co.uk/Epping Forest. And they will find there a number of different businesses within our district that they can make use of. I have had a look there already. When you go onto the site, you may well get a chat box coming up. Mine came up from Stephen from Click It Local asking if there's any help that he could offer me. So we're really pushing this forward and just casting my mind back to the council meeting where we're setting the budget and Councillor Heap's plea for us to support our local hostelries. Can I encourage him and others like him in the absence of time before we get to April the 12th and actually use those hostelries again? There are at least a couple of businesses within our district offering similar sorts of beverages through the Click It Local website. Again, it's all about keeping our business local and making sure that we can support as many of our local businesses as possible. We will be rolling out the Maybe product later once we've bedded in the Click It Local. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Councillor Phillip. That's a really good piece of news for the local area and hopefully good for some of our high street companies. Councillor Patel.
Thank you, Leader. I wanted to update members on an aircraft incident at Northfield Airfield on Tuesday the 9th of March. 2 people were brought to safety after suffering problems with their aircraft in mid-air. The single-engine plane was travelling to Northfield Airfield when the pilot reported a problem with their landing gear at approximately 10:55 on Tuesday morning. As per emergency procedures, the Northfield Air Traffic Controller alerted the airfield fire and rescue crew and emergency services, including Essex County Fire and Rescue Service, the East of England Ambulance Service, Essex and Herts Air Ambulance and Essex Police. The aircraft undertook a number of circuits off the airfield to try and rectify the issue and eventually landed safely with the airfield fire and rescue team. And emergency services mustered next to the runway ready to respond if needed.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Patel. Councillor Sam Kane.
Thank you, Leader. No, it's just to ask members to keep their eyes open on social media and on the Epping Forest website from tomorrow. We're launching a new platform called Develop Me, which is aimed at helping residents across the district and indeed across 3 districts. Harlow and Uttlesford are working together with Epping Forest as a West Essex partnership. The Develop Me platform is designed to help people not only find a job but build their profile build their personal skills. There are tools there to help write CVs, to validate CVs. And it will be of great benefit to people as we come out of COVID. Some people will unfortunately lose their jobs as we come out of furlough and things. Others might be looking to change their jobs as a result of the change in the world because of COVID. So this is going to be a really useful resource to our residents. So once again, that's Develop Me being launched tomorrow. Keep your eyes on the social media. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Councillor Kane, and thank you for the officers who have put so much effort into making this possible. It's another good innovation that we're working on as part of the COVID recovery piece, and I think it's really useful that we're playing an active part in putting things back together again when we get to the end of this dreadful pandemic. Councillor Holly Whitbread.
Thank you, Chairman. Just to report that last night we had our public meeting virtually with Roger Hurst, our Police, Fire and Crime Commissioner. I sat on the panel and we got some really good, interesting questions. I think one of the advantages of these online meetings is actually we get a lot more engagement. I think they've had over 1,000 hits on that session from last night, so that's really good news. And I just wanted to flag that next Tuesday at the Community Select Committee, Anne Alcock, the local chief inspector, will be sitting and will also be reporting back on the Community Safety Partnership's annual report. So that's a good opportunity for members to ask questions and engage. I think that the chairman of that committee, Darshan Sunga, is asking for people to pre-submit questions. So if people have anything they specifically want to ask Anne, that would be great if you could put that forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sounds like a very productive meeting last night. Okay, moving forward. Are there any public questions or requests to address the Cabinet?
No public questions or requests, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Okay, we then go on to item 7, which is the report of overview and scrutiny. Councillor Sartin.
Thank you, Chairman. We haven't actually met since the last meeting of Cabinet, so I've got nothing to report on actual meetings at this time, but just to say that we've now received the answers to questions which Richard Walker was going to come back to us with after his talk about the North Essex Parking Partnership. And I'm going to ask Mr. Woodhall if he'll put these into the bulletins so that everybody can have an opportunity to see them. Thank you, Chairman.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Councillor Sartin. Okay, and then we move on to item 8, the implementation of the local plan, update on progress. Councillor Bedford.
Thank you, Leader. Yeah, so this is the regular report that is brought to Cabinet to provide a regular update on the progress of the strategic master plans, the concept framework and the planning performance agreements within the district. It provides members with information on all the allocated and non-allocated sites which are in the pipeline and explains the progress being made on bringing development in the district forward as set out in the appendices. Appendix A provides an update on the progress of the master plans and concept frameworks. Appendix B provides an update on the progress of each of the strategic and other allocated sites. And Appendix C provides information on other proposals on non-allocated sites over 0.2 hectares in size, or more than 6 dwellings. Members should also note the following, that the infrastructure funding statement agreed by Cabinet in October has been submitted to MHCLG and is available on the Council's website. The infrastructure funding statement, the IFS, applies to the financial year 2019/2020 and sets out Section 106 agreements completed in that year, types and values of contributions included in the agreement, and the monies paid to the Council. The Quality Review Panel, established in 2018 to support high quality design in the district, has been managed by Frame Projects. The contract for Frame Projects has been renewed to run until November 2022. This is at nil cost to the Council as the running costs are recouped through review fees. Their terms of reference have been updated and are available on the website. Appendix D provides information on the scheme's review by the QRP. Following a decision by full Council on the 8th of February 2021, with regard to the interim air pollution mitigation strategy, a portfolio holder advisory group has been set up and it met for the first time on the 3rd of March 2021. A further meeting is now scheduled for the 23rd of February, when a briefing will be given on the habitats regulation assessment work undertaken to support the local plan. I hope that helps, Leader.
Thank you very much. Councillor Bedford. Any members of the Cabinet wishing to speak? Councillor John Phillip. You sound wonderful silent, Councillor Phillip.
Try that. Is that better?
That's better.
Yeah, didn't go off the first time. Thank you, Councillor Bedford, for that report. One correction first. I think you said that the committee was going to meet again on the 23rd of February. I suspect March. I thoroughly welcome the renewal of the QRP contract. It's something that not only is delivering us significant benefits as we look at applications in the district, it lines up with the government's drive towards higher quality in what we're getting built in the area. Can I just ask when the Appendix B for allocated sites was updated? Because I think the second one on there, the land at Forest Drive in Thaden Boyce, has changed status from what we see there.
Councillor Bedford.
I'd have to come back to you with that, and I'll get that checked into for tomorrow.
Thank you, Councillor Bedford.
Thank you. Any other members of the Cabinet? No, not I can see. Councillor Janet Whitehouse.
Thank you, Chairman. On page 30, paragraph 10, there's reference to South Epping Master Plan, and it says that position statements being prepared that's been fed into main modifications. Councillor John Whitehouse, McCready and I haven't seen this at all. We feel as the ward councillors for this area, we should at least have seen it, and preferably have had some involvement. So please, can we have a copy of this, because it's not on the website.
Councillor Bedford.
I'm sure that we can arrange for that to be sent over. I'll get officers to deal with that tomorrow for you, Councillor Whitehouse.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other members? Councillor Phillip, did you want to come back, or is that an old hand?
That's an old hand, Chairman.
Thank you. Okay, members, you've got the recommendations with this report. Can we agree those recommendations?
Agree.
Agreed.
Great. Okay. Item 9, sustainability guidance for the district and Harlow and Gilston Garden Town. Councillor Bedford.
Thank you very much, Leader. Okay, the draft sustainability guidance and checklist documents for use across the district on major developments and minor developments, and the draft guidance on the Harlow Gilston Garden Town were approved by the Cabinet on the 19th of October 2020 for consultation. The principal objective for the sustainable guidance and checklist documents is to act as a practical and technical guide for both applicants and officers in the design, development, management and implementation processes to ensure that new development in the district meets sustainable targets and supports the Council's declaration of a climate emergency and the aim to be carbon neutral by 2030. The guidance covers environmental sustainability, social and economic sustainability of developments, and provides a checklist of information required for submission with proposals. The consultation took place between the 2nd of November to the 14th of December 2020, as outlined in the October Cabinet report. The Council received comments through email responses, 4 online events and an online questionnaire. A full schedule of the representations received is included at Appendix C, and these have been taken into account in finalising the document. Cabinet is now asked to agree to adopt the guidance as a material planning consideration when considering master plans, pre-application advice, and assessing planning applications and any other development management purposes. In addition, officers are preparing further guidance for smaller developments, including extensions and refurbishments. Draft guidance is attached but is awaiting publication of guidance being produced by LETI, which stands for the London Energy Transformation Initiative, which is a network of over 1,000 built environment professionals that are working on guidance to support a path to a zero carbon future. This will form an appendix to the draft, and Cabinet is therefore being asked to agree to consult on the draft guidance, which is at Appendix F, when the LETI guidance is available, and to delegate to the portfolio holder to approve for a 6-week period. Following consultation, guidance will then come back to the Cabinet for endorsement as a material planning consideration. The Harlow Gilson Garden Town Sustainability Guidance is similar to the major developments guidance for the district and was similarly approved for consultation by the October Cabinet. It was also the subject of formal consultation alongside the district guidance. Representations received are included at Appendix E. The updated guidance is now before members for endorsement as a material planning consideration and will be going to the Garden Town Member Board on the 15th of March 2021 for their endorsement. Cabinet is asked to agree that the Planning Service Director, in consultation with the planning portfolio holder, be authorised to make minor amendments to the suitability guidance for the district and the Harlow Gilson Garden Town prior to its publication.
Thank you very much, Councillor Bedford. Any members of the Cabinet? Councillor Phillip.
Just checking that off. Thank you, Councillor Bedford, for this. It's good to see those significant responses to the sustainability guidance. It's clearly an important part of what we're doing, and I thoroughly welcome the opportunity to take sustainability guidance out for extensions and alterations to consultation. This is something that we have been asked about a number of times, and I think this is the right move to bring us forward. We can't rely just on the existence of new houses being built, new dwellings being built in a sustainable way. We have to make sure that changes in our district are moving in the right direction. So I fully welcome this. And probably just at the same time, it's a good time to welcome the new Director of Harlow and Gilson Garden Town, whose appointment's been announced. So I think that's all a very positive approach.
Super. Thank you, Councillor Phillip. Councillor Bedford, did you want to come back on that?
Yeah, that's quite new. I haven't got the name of the person that's just been appointed, but I know it's a very, very recent appointment, and I'm glad that we're actually moving forward on that now.
That's good. Councillor Heath.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, well, in spirit, this is a good thing. Obviously, it's got to be the cornerstone of whatever we do in the future. It's very tautological, and I can't really see the difference between the major and minor developments. And a few other things that sort of stick out that are quite odd. Cost benefits. There don't seem to be many benefits mentioned. There seem to be a lot of things like, well, it will only cost about this to do this. And, you know, you're trying to put a value on something later on. How you offset by the value benefits. Don't really explain why that is or how that happens. And there's still no insistence on PVs on all new dwellings, which I think there should be, because it may not benefit the individual house, but if we work together, it can benefit the whole district and save the forest. And just one minor technical point. I'm not sure when SP2 became, or SP3 became SP2. So I thought that SP3 was place shaping and SP2 was spatial development.
That's the best.
Thank you for that. I'll have to get Alison to answer you on that one if she's available. But just to come back on the name of the person that's taken over the Harlow Gilson Garden Town, it's Naisha Poylane. And the other matter that Councillor Janet Whitehouse was asking, the South Epping statement, Councillor Whitehouse, is addressing the inspector's matters, and until she's actually agreed it, we can't put that into the public domain at the moment. But I will get officers perhaps to give you a private call on that one.
Okay. Fine. Alison.
In relation to policies SP2 and SP3, that's reflective of the fact the inspector asked us to remove policy SP1. So we have renamed the policies. I think we had hoped that by now we would be out to main mods consultation and that would be public, but this is anticipating those changes.
Thank you very much. Okay. Anyone else? Councillor Whitsley.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Yeah, I've just got a question. It's on page 60, paragraph 12, the reference to the LETI retrofit working group. I just wondered if the portfolio holder could give me a bit more information on that, what the letters stand for and the sort of work that working group will be doing.
Councillor Bedford.
Yeah, apologies for that, Councillor Wixley. I did read that out in the earlier statement, actually. And so LETI stands for the London Energy Transformation Initiative.
Okay. Does that satisfy your question, Councillor Wixley?
London Energy
Transformation Initiative.
Right. It just helps when you know what these things stand for. I just wondered if you could give a bit more information exactly what that group will be doing.
I'll hand that over to Ms. Blom-Cooper if she's available.
Yes, Councillor Bedford. The London Energy Transformation Initiative is a network of over 1,000 built environment professionals that are working on guidance to support a path to a zero carbon future. So they're a group of professionals that are coming together to provide some generic guidance, and and in fact, indeed, one of our officers is part of that network. And she felt it would be helpful to have that attached as part of the guidance for the district. So it will form an appendix, but we have included in the package of information brought to Cabinet tonight the bespoke guidance for the district in regard to extensions and refurbishments.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Nigel, anything else to say? Sorry, Councillor Bedford, anything else to say?
No, thank you very much, Leader. I think everyone's all the information is here. The green document is really good. The sustainability guidance. I think Councillor Heap was actually asking around the difference between small developments and larger developments. I think it's to do with the numbers. It's something around about 8 to 10 is the small number. Anything over, I think, 10 is the large developments.
Sorry, my question was, in essence, in all of that bump that comes with it, what is the difference between the two? It looks like a repeat from one to the other with a slightly different colour.
No, it's a different size.
Okay, so we've got the recommendations before us, 1 to 5. Can we agree those recommendations?
Agreed.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're moving on then to page 197, agenda item 10, the digital infrastructure investment for economic resilience. Councillor Phillip.
Thank you, Chairman. This is basically a good news story again. We should note how much work has been put in by the Digital Innovation Zone and the Economic Development Team in terms of our digital resilience and the response to the COVID-19 pandemic. We're working forward with the DIS to try and make sure that there's more things that we can do. We're looking into the Internet of Things, that's IoT, for working out. One possibility is to look at the working with Connected Places Catapult to monitor air quality on and en route to school gates. That may not come forward in the form that it currently is proposed in this report, because we're working with the local authority team there to try and work out what the right way to take this forward is. Whether it's exactly this or it's an additional development on the digital infrastructure and making sure that our residents can access that digital infrastructure, we will have to wait and see. It's important to note as well that we're working on the local fibre network, which is bringing super fast broadband to our surgeries, both in Essex and in Hearts. And we have, in fact, connected one site, one practice in Loughton, which is currently going through its testing and commissioning. So hopefully very shortly I'll be able to announce that that is up and running and delivering significant benefit to the district and to the NHS as a whole. We have an Internet of Things Local Authorities Programme. That's what IoTLA stands for, just in case anyone was not aware of that. We're looking to work with the Connected Places Catapult to do some work to capitalise on our capabilities in digital infrastructure and bring forth benefits to the district. So I commend this report to the Cabinet.
Thank you very much, Councillor Phillip. Members of the Cabinet. Councillor Bedford.
Thank you, Leader. Yeah, no, I really welcome this, and it's really nice to see that part of that IoT project is actually monitoring contamination around school gates. Really good piece of work. Hopefully will come out of this, and we'll get some real figures and statistics around true pollution levels around schools, which is really needed. Thank you. Welcome the report.
Thank you very much. Councillor Patel.
Thank you, Leader. I also welcome this report. I think the work of the Digital Innovation Zone was fantastic, and it's really supported our communities to get better connected and to support as well when businesses start to function again. One of the first projects I was one of the first awareness campaigns that I was involved with when I became a cabinet member was around clean air, around ensuring clean air around schools, and the campaign that was being led on that. And I think this investment, that's 5,000, is money that has been quite rightly well spent, and I look forward to seeing the results as and when they come forward.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Councillor Lyle.
Thank you, Leader. I welcome this report. I've got a bit of a vested interest in this. It's really exciting to actually see these things coming to fruition within the council. The Digital Innovations Zone has achieved quite amazing return on investment, and we've got in there the 24 million that's actually been invested by the BDUK and DCMS in Epping Forest through Essex County Council Superfast to actually put broadband capability into our rural areas. So this is just continuing that programme. The GP programme is moving forward, and that is bringing fibre-based broadband to around 80 GP practices in Epping Forest and across the Digital Innovation Zone in Hertfordshire, as well as Essex. So this is great to see the programme moving forward and working with the Digital Catapult, which is one of the special technology futures. And it's also nice to see that Essex County Council has actually updated their strategy and included digital strategy as one of their main thrusts. Thank you, Chairman.
Yep. Thank you, Councillor Lyle, and thank you for all your input into this. So over time, the officers have worked extremely hard. I know you've been actively engaged for years on these projects, and the value for money we get from them is absolutely superb. The important thing I think we've all seen in recent times is the importance of digital innovation. The past 18 months have taught us that no end, and these changes are going to be great for our communities in the future. Members, you've got the recommendations before you. Can we agree those recommendations?
Agreed.
That's good. Thank you very much. So we move on to agenda item 11 on page 219. This is the update on business database development. Councillor John Phillip.
Thank you, Chairman. Again, making significant progress here. As members will remember, this is something we kicked off as part of our work to address the COVID situation. We're developing a corporate business database that will help us to interact with the local businesses. We have done significant work already. There's significant information that we hold as a council that we will be able to get out to local businesses through this. So we're looking at things like the address and contact details of the businesses, an email that we can get hold of them, contacts and activity in sector. It gives us the ability to produce this in a GPDR compliant way. We have already purchased the database. We did that back at the end of 2020. We're merging the details with the other council databases in the current February-March timeframe. From now onwards, we're campaigning to build and develop that database, making it clear to businesses the advantages of being involved in this. It gives us the ability to send information out to them. It also helps us with the changes that we made to the procurement rules to be much more aware of what businesses are in the district, and we'll be able to invite them to take part in tenders. We're making real progress on this, and I'm looking forward to, as soon as possible, being able to inform Cabinet that we have a working database. We are currently putting out an e-newsletter, and we will be sending messages out along with the business rate notices and welcoming new businesses into the district.
Great. Thank you very much, Councillor Phillip. Councillor Patel.
Thank you, Leader. Again, I welcome this report that's coming forward to Cabinet this evening. This is, again, quite right to be setting this type of database up. I know that Mr. John Houston has been wanting to create this database for some time now, and I'm glad we're at a stage where we can start taking this forward. I think, obviously, one of the difficulties has always been around communicating the relevant information with businesses. So often the information is sent to our local businesses, and it's sort of discarded, considered as spam if it's sent through email drops, etc., or through letters. This is a positive way of engagement with our local businesses, and shows our commitment in trying to support them to continue and flourish, and also to support our high streets.
Thank you very much. Councillor Holly Whitbread.
Thank you, Chairman. I think this is a really good piece of work that I really welcome. I think post-pandemic, it's more important than ever before that we engage with our local businesses and we have that point of contact. And I hope that will become a really effective and useful tool for local businesses. I also think there's a piece of work that we can do as a council in promoting and supporting local. And that's something that I think is really important that we champion. I know that Essex County Council have a really good economic development newsletter that goes out quite regularly with really kind of good and useful links to relevant information for businesses. Will this be a publicly accessible newsletter as well? That's a question to Councillor Phillip. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Councillor Phillip.
The current intent is to send it out to the people we have on our list. There is some benefit in being in the database so that we can send it out to them. If we just make it publicly available, download it where you want, then there is less incentive to agree to being part of the database. I'm sure that when we've got a draft copy of it, we will be able to share that with members.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Councillor Phillip. Councillor Bedford.
Thank you. Really pleased about this piece of work. In fact, I thought it was useful to have this database some time ago, and I'm glad that it's now coming together. In fact, I made a request of officers this week. I'd like to know some more information around certain businesses that I'm sure that they can get that information to me. It's going to help us immensely when we're looking at some of the air mitigation measures going forward. It enables us to make contact with businesses in a targeted way, especially if we've got all the details. I really welcome this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Councillor Whitehouse.
Thank you, Chairman. I need to declare an interest in this item and item 13 as a trustee of Epping Forest Reuse. I did put my hand up at the appropriate time, but it just wasn't seen. I'm really pleased to see this this report and the information is going to come out. I was concerned to see on page 221 that it seemed to be focused primarily, or at the beginning, on limited companies. And I did have a discussion with Mr. Houston yesterday about how the information is going to go out, because it is the sole traders who need the help and support and the information that can come from the council. And he was saying that he hopes with the newsletter that people will share it to other traders they know of. And I was pleased to hear Councillor Phillip just say now that he will send this newsletter out to members, because I was going to ask if it could come to members and we can then get it out to traders that we know of in our area. Because I do think the sooner we can get some of these sort of people working on their own linked in towards information, it'll be so helpful for them. So yes, I look forward to seeing the newsletter when it's ready. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Sunga.
Thank you, Chairman. I welcome this report as well. I think it's really important as the Prime Minister set the roadmap back to get our local businesses back. I think it's important to show that we care as a local authority, that we're doing everything we can to promote local businesses and to ensure that we can secure the local jobs for the local residents as well. I think it's brilliant that we're reaching out, especially when we gave the business rates relief grants as well. Having that database and reaching out to these businesses, it's vitally important that they know that we're here to support them during these very difficult times, especially as local business, as different sectors of the industry are coming back to back into the community. So yeah, very much support this. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Chairman?
Sorry, Councillor.
Yeah, if I could come back on a couple of those. I hear what Councillor Whitehouse is saying. I would encourage members, if we're passing out newsletters to businesses, we want to get them on the list. There is no point putting a councillor in between if we can get that name and address, an email address into our system, because then we can actually make sure that not only does the newsletter go in the right direction, but other pieces of information which may well be targeted. We also know that the vast majority of businesses in our district are either micro or small. So if we were only looking at the large companies, that wouldn't be doing the right job. So we are making sure that we hit this across the businesses, and we make it sure that it's positive for everybody.
Thank you very much. Councillor Heath.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, I'm quite willing to admit that I might have missed something here, but how are we going about informing all these businesses of what this is? Is that something that the councillors can help with? Just to try and improve the take-up?
Councillor Heath, it's part of the work that we're doing at the moment to building and developing the database. That's the campaign that we're doing. We're doing it through a newsletter we're putting out this month. We are campaigning to encourage businesses to sign up. So I would say if a councillor wants to be of assistance, point any businesses you know of to our economic development department. If they haven't already got a copy of the newsletter, we'll make sure they've got it, and then they will be able to be part of the overall database.
Thank you very much, Councillor Phillip. Members, what we have before you will be a real asset to local businesses, and I think Councillor Whitehouse actually picked up. It's about the micro businesses we have as well. Well, it's everything. It's from the fruit stall trader to the biggest companies we've got in the district. We want everyone to sign up, because come April the 12th, when we start the bounce back, we want everybody engaged in this, because this is the way that we get information out to our businesses, whether it be about grants from government or what we're doing for businesses here in Epping Forest. And you've heard tonight some of the good news stories there, and you've got more to come later on. But this is all about the bounce back. This is how we're going to fight back and get our high streets back alive again and get people working again. It's so important to our district that we get behind businesses now more than ever before. So I know tomorrow, I'm sure Mr. Khan will be preparing that press release as we speak. And it's all about the bounce back. It's all about getting people to sign up so we can get the information out there that they need to get the best from the new economy that's going to come post-pandemic and as we unlock on April the 12th. Okay, members, can we agree those recommendations?
Agreed.
Brilliant. Okay, agenda item 12 is the calendar of council meetings. Councillor Kane.
Thank you, Leader. Yes, each year the Cabinet is asked to consider the draft calendar of council meetings for the coming year and advise whether any further changes are required. Members will note we have managed to move Cabinet meetings to Mondays wherever possible, and we've maintained the logical flow of meetings to ensure due time for scrutiny committees to do their valuable work. This evening, I'm asking members to recommend the calendar as laid out in Appendix 1 to the next full council.
Members. Any questions on the calendar? Can I agree those recommendations in that case?
Agreed.
One, that is superb. Then we get on to agenda item 13, amendments to the additional restrictions grant policy. That sort of information we'll be able to get out to all those businesses on our list in future. Councillor Sam Kane.
Thank you. Yes, the pandemic, as we know, has impacted on businesses right across Epping Forest District throughout the past 12 months. And this council has worked really hard to ensure the timely distribution of government-supported funding direct to local businesses. This direct support is critical to the continued survival of many businesses across the district. This report reviews current performance and suggests revisions to policy and approach linked to experience of both administration and the needs of local businesses. Amendments to the current policy and establishment of new funding priorities for local action are included. I'll just point out, subsequent to this report being drafted, we have been advised by County that they will provide an additional 500,000 funding, ARG funding, which will require alignment of policies with ECC. This evening, I'm asking members to approve the recommendations 1 to 4 as laid out on page 223 of your agenda. Thank you.
Okay, members, any questions for Councillor Kane? Councillor John Philip.
Yes, Chairman, I think I probably should say something, as my name is on this report as well. I think one of the key points to pull out here is the part in recommendation 3, where we're actually taking some of this ARG money to actually take direct supporting action for our businesses to help them back rather than individual grants. We're looking to make significant things happen as part of that Economic Resilience Fund. It'll allow us to target particular areas where we recognise that there is significant improvement. It's got to be a significant improvement directly attributable to businesses. So we'll be looking to see what we can do there and make sure that we, as a council, assist all our businesses across the district.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you, John. It just reinforces our commitments to helping businesses through the bounce back. Now we're finally getting to the other side of this COVID pandemic.
That's brilliant. Thank you. Any members of the Cabinet wish to speak? No? Okay. Any other members? No? Okay, in that case, I'd just like to say a couple words. I want to praise our officers who have been actually playing an active part in getting these grants out to business. It's been an awful amount of additional resource required and capacity to achieve this, and they've been working tirelessly to help businesses get the grants they need, and it hasn't been easy. So I wanted to thank officers in particular in that team this evening and have that put on record if I can. These grants are so important to businesses, and we have grants there. So we really do want businesses to come forward and apply for what they're entitled to, because we do want to help them get back come April the 12th when we start the bounce back. Okay, can we agree those recommendations, members?
Great.
Very much. Okay, and then we go on to item 14, COVID-19 development projects, travel, local demand, responsive transport. Councillor Avey.
Thank you, Chairman. Good progress is being made on the DART 87 bus route. I hope you've all read the report. What we're asking for is an extension of the trial for 1 year. Give us a bit more time to see how it's working as we unlock. To do that, we're recommending the allocation of £85,000 from Sustainable Travel Projects for a full year trial to the 1st of April 2021. Also to give us some time to see if we can extend and do other things with the service. So I would really recommend these 5 recommendations to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Avey. Any members want to comment? Councillor Philip.
Thank you, Chairman. Can I welcome this? I welcome the demand responsive transport, particularly given that it goes through Thaden Boyce on a number of occasions. I'm very pleased to see that there is actually significant use being made of this service, but even though we're still in the national lockdown. as things have now started to open up with with most of our pupils going back to school, but still maintaining the necessary support for our key workers. I fully expect this to become more and more used, and I look forward to the time where the restrictions will come away and we can actually fit more people on the buses. I do think as we go forward, we should be looking to see what we can do to use as environmentally positive transport methods as possible. I certainly think that carrying it forward for the full year gives us the best opportunity to establish that a service like this will work in this district. I'm firmly convinced it will. I think it is definitely the right thing to do. I welcome the fact that the projection shows actually taking some revenue in as a result of this, possibly even enough to almost break even. If we get to that point, that is an extraordinarily good news story for us and for the district and people moving to more sustainable ways of transport. Happy to see that it's within the existing budget, wearing my other hat. So I thoroughly welcome this and fully support the recommendations.
Thank you very much. Councillor Holly Whitbread.
Thank you, Chairman. I don't think there's too much I can add to that. Councillor Phillip pretty much sums up everything I wanted to say. But I think this is a really good news story. And I think post-pandemic, I do think good use will be made of this. I would like to see slightly more kind of promotion and communication around this project, because I think it could be a brilliant resource for local people. And I'd like to see more of it. Thank you, Chairman.
Councillor Avey, would you like to comment on those two?
Yeah, we are looking at more promotion. As you can see, we were thoroughly let down by Arriva when they stopped the service by not really publicising anything around it at all, which is unfortunate. So we are looking at more publicity and ensuring that residents are aware the service exists going forward.
Brilliant. That's good news, and I'm sure that will be broadcast loud over the next couple of days. Again, by our PR department. Okay, Councillor Bedford.
Thank you, Leader. I think Councillor Phillip has said most of the stuff there. I just think it's a really good initiative going forward, and it's been essential to a lot of our key workers who have made use of it. They've registered and used the bus, and I can only see that the idea of the sustainable transport corridor and the different links going in, this is going to be key in the future to helping us with the CAS about demand-led responsive travel arrangements, and just welcome the report. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Councillor Bedford. Councillor Sam Cane.
Thank you, Leader. Yes, I'll add my wholehearted support to this. Members will know I've been a keen fan of DRT systems for quite some time. I'm delighted to see that it's proving itself a success, and that will go from strength to strength. And just to put in an early bid, let's have the second one running through Waltham Abbey really soon.
Indeed.
Very good.
Notice.
Yeah, Councillor Avey will be very keen to see that go ahead. This has been a really good move. Okay, Councillor Pond.
I do apologise, Leader, for being late. I had digital infrastructure problems. Yes, I mean, I think a good start has been made on the DRT, but there is considerable public confusion about it. And as an example of that, for instance, if you go to the bus stop near the railway bridge in Chewell Lane, it says this stop is served by DRT 87 to and from the shopping park. Well, that I think is true. It is, but the little old ladies and little old gentlemen in my constituency who used the Route 87 when it was run by Arriva, for them that was quite simple, because all they had to do was to turn up at the bus stop and put out their arms to stop the bus. But the registration process, I fear, is rather cumbersome. And I know we have a sustainable transport officer, and I'm sure he'll be working on how to minimise the bureaucracy connected with DRT services. And they do have the potential to be much more useful to the old people of Debden and elsewhere in the district, simply because all they need is a telephone, but it will go nearer their houses than in some cases the 87 did. So it's a good start, and I thoroughly support the extension of the trial for the rest of the year. On the second paragraph on page 256, there are references to the Essex Route 542 and the commercial service 418. Now, there is likely to be change in that area. And I've been in touch with Kim Durrani and Stephen Lloyd-Jones about this, because there is a possibility of combining them, but I think it's got to be done in a sensitive way and a way which meets the need of people to travel, especially after we reopen the high streets and so on, without undue bureaucracy. So I think a good start has been made. We look forward to it continuing, and I'd like to thank the officers for their help. And I'm very sorry, by the way, to see that Kim Durrani is leaving the FDC because he's been a good friend to all councillors over the years he's been with us.
Councillor Avey.
Yes, thank you for those comments, and we'll look at the registration process. I'm sure it's something officers are thinking about, and making the service as simple as possible that residents can use it, particularly older residents who might struggle with an online system. So that's noted. And yes, I wasn't going to give thanks to Kim tonight. I was probably saving it for a full council meeting to say thanks to him, and I shall do so at that juncture.
Thank you very much, Councillor Avey. Councillor Heath.
Thank you, Leader. Yeah, this is good, and I think it's worth carrying on for another year, and it proves the point that if you provide the service, then people will probably use it. But it does need to be made easier to access for, well, particularly older people. My father, for instance, probably wouldn't use it because it's just way too complicated to go online. So it might even be worth the council employing somebody to go out and finding who might possibly want to use it, and or finding out who used to use these services and making it easier for them to join in. That's it. It's good.
Thank you. Councillor Avey, comments?
Comments noted. Thank you, Councillor Heap, and I'm sure we'll take that on board, those comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Murray.
I don't think I've got much to add, Chairman, apart from to add my support. I think it has been a success. It should be continued for the year. I've had a mixed response. The people who understand how the system works and the rationale behind it and have the access and the skills to access it, key workers, very positive feedback from some people in my ward. But I would agree with Councillor Pond and Councillor Heath. I've had some difficult conversations with a fair few elderly people in Loughton who just can't get their head around the process, and for them it doesn't replace the 87, I have to say. But that's that's a difficult one to solve. But I just wanted to say that was my feedback as well. Very positive in parts, and elderly people are finding it difficult to understand and don't have the ability to really access it.
Councillor Avey, did you want to come back?
Yes, thank you for that. Again, if indeed tonight you do agree to a year trial, that we'll have a chance to really iron out some of these usability type issues, which I agree with you are key, and build on the success we've seen from the start of this project.
Thank you. Once again, can I thank the officer team for the work that's gone into this behind the scenes? Amazing amount of work again during difficult times. I think it's making really good progress. I've spoken to a number of residents, like Councillor Murray. I've had some residents say it's really great. Others have found it a bit more difficult to access. As Councillor Avey said, we're listening, we're learning, and we're moving forward. And I think that's key to this, to be honest with you. I think it's another good news story that Epping Forest is prepared to take on these type of challenges and take on roles that other people would leave behind sometimes. So this is good news, particularly for some of our estates and small villages that will benefit from this as it goes forward for a whole year. And we will do our best to make it successful. Every confidence in that. You've got the recommendation, members. Can we agree those recommendations?
Agreed.
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 Okay, there's any other business. There's no reason to exclude the public and press. Therefore, I bring the meeting to a close. Thank you very much.
Good night,
Thank
everybody.
you and good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.